Welcome, folks, tonight to the Land Tamer stream. It is Wednesday night, hump day. Getting through the week here, getting some study done, getting some labs done. Hope your week's going well. We're going to talk about some multicast mindset. And this wallpaper of the day is actually pretty awesome. I saw this on Instagram. NASA, it has to do with some dunes forming. And how sand is distributed, just, wow, really amazing. But hey, Site of Origin, good bits. Thank you for those good bits, my friends. Sending you some back. Focus on some good bits tonight. Yeah, high-rise sand dune is what that was called. Really cool shot. Written exam, 39 days. So yeah, just to update on a couple of things. One is I do plan to give away a blue snowball mic. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. I want to do it on day 300. And let's see, today, let's figure out when that is. Today is 397. I'll stream tomorrow. It'll be 298. Saturday, 299. Okay, Sunday, perfect. So Sunday would be good. Be sure to tune in on Sunday. I will tweet out and post in the Discord when we're going to do that giveaway. So if you've always thought about streaming or, doing your own stream and, don't have necessarily the gear you might want, a lot of people stream with the blue snowball mic. I have a lower voice and it didn't really do it for me. That's why I shifted to this. This is also blue, but it's the gear's listed in the information below. This is a blue Yeti. I think it's made by the same company. Yeah, there's a snowball, there's a Yeti. So anyway, this has enough gain to pick up my voice. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people use it. A lot of popular streamers use the blue snowball. So as far as I know, there's nothing wrong with it. It was, just not suited for my voice. So anyway, we'll be giving that away. And I think what we'll do is, I'm not sure yet. We'll figure it out. I'll post an announcement about that, but stay tuned. And then as far as, there is something else I want to mention. It's not shown here. Some of the work I've been doing is in Azure, like in IRL, a real job. I've been working with some expressroute, some BGP, and it's really cool. Some things I've been learning about expressroute, the fact that there are a couple different peering types, and you can do, of course, private peering or expressroute. Expressroute in Azure is basically a direct connection into Azure. So, if it's like extending your data center. So like you would, you could do it you can use an MPLS circuit, you can use a point-to-point circuit, and you can essentially get a provider to go into the POP in an Azure region / data center, and you can essentially exchange routes. So your private IP space that you use in Azure, and I don't know what it's called, and I know AWS has their, all the cloud providers have their variant of this, right? And Azure is just called ExpressRoute. They also announced ExpressRoute Direct, which is a new feature I don't know a whole lot about. I know it is going to introduce some new supported bandwidth rates. But yeah, ExpressRoute, you have private peering. You also have, they've deprecated what's called public peering. But now, they have Microsoft peering, which is, the public peering is kind of functionalities rolled into that. And that is where you can actually exchange, use BGP with, publicly routable or registered ASNs, public ASNs. And you can actually exchange your public IP space, and Microsoft will exchange its public IP prefixes with you that you want. So if you're accessing, for example, a lot of, services over that use public IPs, you can, from within, your organization, access those, have those prefixes advertised into your network so that you take the express route versus the internet. So anyway, cool stuff. And there are some articles on that. Of course, good documentation on that explains it. But yeah, working with that. And it's interesting how BGP is, there's a lot of Azure gives you a quote unquote router, or the router functionality. And there are some things you can do on there that's very similar to running BGP, for example, on a Cisco router. And I'm not going to go into a lot of depth on that in this particular stream. But, they do allow you to use communities and route filtering and things like that. Authentication. So, it's interesting. So oftentimes you're connecting on-prem, at the other end of the circuit, or in your PLS, in the case, for example, of point-to-point, your on-prem router is going to be a Cisco or Juniper or whatever the case may be. But yeah, the Azure side is a little different. And of course, the nice thing about any of the Azure components, the resource, you can use an ARM template, Azure Resource Manager template, to sort of automate your deployment. So that's pretty cool. That's a cool thing about Azure, right? All the other things you automate in Azure, the same tools in terms of virtual machines or storage, or RBAC access, resource groups, whatever the case may be, you use the same sort of tools that you can deploy BGP on an express route. So it's really cool stuff. Anyway, I've been learning about that as well as a lot of other Azure stuff that is somewhat related to networking. I did, worked on some JSON templates today. JSON is part of the CCIE written exam, Evolving Technologies 1.1 blueprint. So that kind of stuff is important, and it's nice to see that even in sort of my new role that I'm able to utilize some of the points of the blueprint, Let me grab a quick sip of coffee. Just made this. I needed a little bit tonight. As maybe you all may know, I posted on Twitter that, and I appreciate everyone here in the stream, because last night the chat helped keep me going. Like, honestly, I got on and my tank was on E. Like, I was pretty drained from having traveled the last 2 days. Like, I flew out one day and flew back the other. So yeah, I was tired. And I didn't get home until after midnight, so went right to work. So I'm still kind of recovering, waiting for the weekend to like fully recover. But hey, Mark Millo, had to grab a cup myself. I was passing out about 7 p.m. It's a bit early for bed. Yeah, Mark Millo, I am getting longer in the tooth every day, and I find myself going to bed earlier and earlier, which is interesting. But yeah. This cup turned out especially good. On to networklessons.com. So, I did have some time today, particularly after my workout this morning. I hopped on right away to work on a lab. I actually built a little lab based on the networklessons.com RPF troubleshooting section, and we can take a quick look at that. Let's do Chrome. Already have it over here. Let's go even G. So yeah, I built a little, and I posted actually a screenshot on Instagram of one of the RPF check lab screenshots. And it just made me think, I even mentioned in that post that you really need a different mindset with multicast. Yeah, even G is my go-to lab right now for the most part. Let's see, is it multicast, PIM3 routers? I think this is it. Let me double check. I probably need to delete some of these. Let me check by date here. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, even G. By the way, that reminds me, I may do this on stream. There was an announcement today on Twitter from the Even G team that they now have a way to install Kali Linux. Let me refresh my notes, because I basically put everything like in Apple Notes. So if there's something I'm looking at on my phone, I just share it to a note, and then I can come back later and see. No, that's another link I want to share later. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. We may just go ahead and do this on stream. Kali Linux over EvenG Pro is a Docker apt update. Okay, I'm going to do this. This is posted at 1:51 p.m. earlier today, so we'll go ahead and do this. I've seen some of the screenshots, and this is pretty exciting. So yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, let me close this lab. Let's do that first. So let's go to the EvenG. Let's see, I think it's root Eve. Yeah. And pretty cool, 2 commands. Apt update. I should actually run this more often. I wonder how big this update is. 26 packages can be upgraded. Okay, so apt update, and then apt install EvenG Kali. Yeah, so let's do it. Hopefully it won't be too extremely large. Oh, a little bit. Hopefully it won't affect the stream too much. Yeah, well, that's loading. We'll check that out because I've been watching those screenshots. Looks like the Pro version gets a lot more love than the Community Edition. That's interesting, Mark Milo. It seems like, as a matter of fact, that for the longest time, there was quite a bit of issue parity between the Community and the Pro Edition. It seems to me that only as of late have they really been adding functionality to Pro. So I don't know whenever Pro came out. Oh, this is new version 20360. Okay. Yeah, I don't know when it came out, but it's just been my impression that lately there's been, and here's a screenshot. New Docker next EvenG. So this is a new release, I guess. Yeah, 20477. What version are we on now? Okay, still 20477. So this is just an add-on. It's not any new release or anything. Okay, download is going well. Yeah, the Pro version is pretty cool. I only have it, like I said, I have not purchased it. I only have it because they knew I used it on stream. They wanted me to try it out. And yeah, obviously, yeah, I mean, it's good for me. It's good for them. Plus, the main developer is very active in our Discord channel, or has been in the past. Off and on, he jumps in. His name is his username is Redfish, and sometimes he'll offer support. So if you post in the viral EvenG GNS3 channel, and you have an issue or something, he'll actually get on, and he's the main lead developer. So that's pretty cool. He's always been a big fan of this channel. So, but yeah, we are. While that's loading, I'll wait to launch. It may actually ask me to restart. I'm not sure. Okay, it's doing an update here. Anyway, let's see. Name sounds familiar. I believe I heard that name during one of the streams that I watched. Yeah, he'll actually watch the stream sometimes. And yeah, on YouTube, yeah. So you'll see him pipe in sometimes. And shoot, he may get on tonight because he knows anytime there's like a release, I'll usually try to do the update that same night. And is very helpful. So yeah, in discussion of the multicast mindset, I find that I need to start like telling myself, whenever I work on multicast, IGMP, things like that, anything related to multicast PIM, I really need to focus on the fact that this is really related to the source, right? So often with routing protocols, we're interested in the destination. But in multicast, we are routing to sort of define the path towards the source of the multicast traffic. That's the most important thing. So that's, as it has been said, one of the, in the lesson for on network lessons, is that one of the biggest areas to check when you're troubleshooting any kind of issues with multicast is the RPF check, because the RPF check is going to see, okay, I'm receiving multicast packets on this interface. Is it actually correct that I have a path to the source through that interface? So I'm going to do a reverse path forwarding check, right? And in the lab, it was set up or designed in such a way to have it fail, to have that, have that check fail. So it's a really good lab, and I would love to show it to you, but I don't know if I'm going to have time because of this this update that is running here. So this could take a while. But anyway, that's what I'm working on. I had a little time to do half of the lesson, but the rest of the night I will probably work on the second half. So there's like 2 parts of this lesson. And the other half is, let's see. Yeah, data plane, it's going to be lesson in terms of, this was the data plane and the control plane. Oh, that was a data plane. That's what we did earlier. So the next lesson is an RPF failure in the control plane. So that should be interesting. So that's what I'm covering tonight. Going to be working on. And let's do a little trivia, I guess. We'll move on to that. Do you know the protocols and port numbers for these management services? All right, try to think of them in your head. So you got tacacs plus. You've got Radius, which handles Radius can take care of, when you use Radius, authentication and accounting, right? So let's see if we can remember what the protocol and port numbers that are used for these systems, right? These applications. I believe tacacs plus. I know one of the major differences between these is that tacacs uses TCP and Radius uses UDP. Both authentication and accounting. I believe this is, I want to say 49. So let's see, I believe this is 16, 12, and UDP 18. It's so much easier, like when you see the options in a multi-part question versus having to actually write out the answer, right? That's what the written drill sheet does. It forces you to do that. So I think this is actually 1642 and 1812, and this was UDP 1643 and UDP 1813. Sure is. I know I've seen them, but without a trigger stimuli, I have a tough time recalling it. Like, I know that the authentication, I believe, is just 1 digit away from what is used with I know tacacs is TCP. I'm pretty sure it's 49 for the port number. I know Radius is UDP. Now this is where it gets a little gray. I'm trying to think. I always think War of 1812 and then 1640 something. All right, let's open the drill sheet. Folks, this is in the GitHub repository. You can download this. You can you can pull the repo, and then you have this Excel file, right? That you can edit yourself, modify, do whatever you want. It's not completely clean right now. I've added some areas in answers that is not in the fill-in part yet, but that is going to be a work in progress. I plan to do some more work on that this weekend. Let's see, radius. There are several related radius. Okay. I got TCP correct. Yay. Radius authentication is 1645 and 1646. And 1812 and 1813. Let's see how I did here. So authentication is an odd number for 1645. And this is even. Okay. I was pretty close. All right, so that is the answer to tonight's trivia. Meat chunks, I don't really have any. Folks, today, like the free time I had, I was either labbing PIM or I was working and dinner. I really didn't have a lot of time to look through Twitter today. This is really the only one. And this is still running. This looks pretty close because it just did a change mod. Okay. Still running. So I will let you folks know how this goes. If you're not following me on Twitter, definitely check it out. And Instagram, because I tend to post updates through the day, like on things I'm working on a lab or screenshots, or sometimes I'll post questions that I think are CCIE related. I'll post challenges on those platforms. And of course, YouTube is basically replays of the night stream, and also some from time to time special videos, just videos. But yeah, definitely check those out. And folks, let's keep plugging away. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for everybody in the chat for stopping by. Tomorrow we will cover whatever it is I get done with the RPF troubleshooting. We'll have another trivia, and I'll have some more details about the giveaway, as well as the installation of Kali Linux here in EvenG and what we can do with that. So thanks so much for tuning in, folks. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate everyone stopping by. Hope you have a good night. And we're halfway through the week. Let's get, we got 3 evenings left during this week, the weeknights, to, hit a little studying, hit some, thank you, and enjoy the coffee. I will, man. I'm going to need it too to get through the rest of this week. So, thanks, folks, for stopping in, and we shall see you this time tomorrow here on the Land Tamer stream. Have a good night.